Imagine a bug the size of a saltwater crocodile stalking you from the murky silt. This is Jaekelopterus, an 8-foot sea scorpion that turned the Devonian rivers into a literal death trap. Today, we resurrect the largest arthropod to ever live and reveal the crushing truth hidden in its predatory DNA. But how did a bug grow as large as a car without a spike in oxygen? The answer is more tactical than you think. 400 million years ago, the Earth's freshwater systems were a competitive vacuum. Long before the dinosaurs, Jaekelopterus led an evolutionary migration from saltwater scavengers to massive freshwater titans. In this ancient world, it was the undisputed king of the swamp. But wait until you see the biological tools it developed to maintain such massive scale. It was a 2.5-meter titan of chitin. Unlike modern scorpions, its exoskeleton was a high-tensile masterpiece, reinforced with a sophisticated arrangement of protein fibers that allowed for massive size without heavy calcification. But what was this monster actually crushing in the depths? It was an apex predator with a menu that terrified the Devonian food web. Its diet included armored jawless fish, primitive tetrapods, early sharks, deep-sea cephalopods, and even its own smaller relatives. It was a population controller that answered to no one. But its secret wasn't just strength. It was the vision to strike in total darkness. These armored legends likely lived for 15 years, growing in distinct stages. As they aged, their visual acuity actually increased, a developmental shift that transformed them from shallow water observers to deep abyss hunters. But their life cycle began in the most vulnerable nurseries of the ancient world. Females laid their eggs in the safety of brackish estuaries. The young spent their early years in the sun-drenched shallows, hiding from the giant predatory fish of the open rivers. But these juveniles were already lethal killers long before they reached 8 feet. Juveniles were visual specialists from birth. They hunted in brighter waters, using their compound eyes to track every movement. They occupied a completely different niche than the adults, ensuring the species monopolized every calorie in the river system. But wait until you see the light amplification tech the adults used to hunt in the abyss. Unlike anything in your world today, adult Jaekelopterus possessed light amplification eyes. Their photoreceptors were massive, allowing them to spot movement through dense sediment and shadows. They were tactical titans that could see your heartbeat through the silt. But how did they deliver the final crushing strike? They were masters of the hydraulic ambush. Using specialized muscle attachments and rear swimming paddles, they launched themselves at terminal velocity toward unsuspecting prey. It was an explosive release of kinetic energy that turned an 8-foot bug into a living missile. But the real horror was at the end of their arms. Their chelicerae were specialized puncturing tools, not just crushers. Reinforced with protein cross-linking, these spiked pincers could pierce the heaviest dermal armor of any Devonian fish. It was a mechanical warfare masterpiece that turned kinetic energy into shearing pressure. But what happened when the king of the river met a faster rival? Even as a titan, it was hunted. Its world was shared with the jawed terror, Dunkleosteus, aggressive early sharks, and even larger members of its own cannibalistic kind. In the Devonian rivers, survival was a constant war between the chitin of the scorpion and the jaws of the emerging vertebrate giants. But the greatest threat wasn't a jaw, it was the shifting world itself. The reign of the giants ended as the world turned cold. Rapid climate shifts and changing water chemistry triggered the collapse of the river deltas. Highly specialized for a stable food web, the Shastasaurid-like giants were vulnerable to the rise of faster, more efficient vertebrate hunters. 5 factors ended them: climate shift, water chemistry, competition, habitat loss, and collapse. Impact ratings, all high. Here is a fact that science only recently unmasked. The true scale of this monster was hidden in a single 46-centimeter claw found in Germany. Marcus Poschmann's discovery in 2007 allowed us to finally see the phantom that had been haunting the fossil record for over a century. It proved that bugs once ruled where fish now swim. Their incredible remains are preserved in museums across Germany and the United States. Today, you can stand beneath those same serrated pincers and witness the remains of an animal that challenged the absolute limits of terrestrial biology. But what if the competition that ended their reign never appeared? Which prehistoric nightmare should we resurrect next? Comment below with your choice, like this video, and subscribe to Extinct Earth as we continue to reconstruct the monsters of our lost world. I'm John, and I'll see you in the next reconstruction.